Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Day-to-Day podcast. As
Welcome,
usual,
welcome.
we are here with some interesting topics today. A bit of update on the Apple products, and then
Yep, products.
and then we
Yep,
have some news about maybe Microsoft, and
yeah,
maybe some small topics that we can cover up in the end if we have some time. Yeah.
yep. Cool. Let's get to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So
Right.
starting on with the Apple products, so the iPhone specifically has received some accusations over the last
Yep.
few
Quite
days.
serious. I mean, okay, maybe not that serious, but can be a bit serious. So some people are saying it's as worse as the Bend Gate, if you remember Bend Gate.
Was that
So
iPhone? What was the number?
six, I think it
Six,
was,
right?
I think it
Six.
was six. Yeah, it was because
Mm,
that's when they sort of went from having like a thicker iPhone to like a very thin iPhone. It's like
yes.
aluminium, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm,
And it was thin and it was pretty big as well, right? So it
mm,
got thinner and bigger.
mm,
And it was, oh man, I can't remember who it was. Was it Jerry Rig or was it Unbox Therapy who did it? Did the bend and
uh, uh,
um,
probably, probably a
it
lot of
bent.
people did it after one person
Yeah,
started it,
yeah,
but yeah. And maybe it was Jerry Riggs, like because
yeah.
he's usually the one who
Maybe.
does the test device tests, right? Like,
I can't remember who it was, but yeah, that started this whole thing of that iPhones bend and
mm,
all of that, and that got Apple to innovate. I mean, they improved, It sort of had a good effect, I think, on
mm,
the product, and it became a bit strong, and they've sort of slowly tried to get away from the fact that Apple, iPhones tend to be very
mm,
fragile, and if they just hit the ground, it's just gonna shatter into a million pieces.
mm, mm.
They've been trying their best to get over that because they've been introducing this whole crystal glass, or I can't remember what it's called now,
You mean
sapphire shield or crystal shield or something like that, right? So
the front, right? Like
the
the
gimmicky name, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
um,
I can't remember. No,
yeah, I can't remember the name. So
like
anyway,
the one that replaces Gorilla Glass, right? Like
yeah,
that's
I
their
mean,
own.
their own, yeah, I think it's just a version of Gorilla Glass that they're just
Mm,
rebranding it. I don't know.
like,
Anyway, let's not get into that. But now what's happened is, just to give you guys the the tea rather,
mm,
is now uh, they changed from stainless steel to titanium in the new Pro models, right?
mm,
The no the the standard one is still aluminum, if I'm not mistaken. So they went from like stainless steel to titanium in a bit to save weight mainly,
mm,
whilst maintaining strength, right?
mm,
So I'm not sure whether that has anything to do directly with this issue, but it seems like you can easily break the back glass,
mm,
and it's relatively it's pretty dangerous, right? So that's one, right? So what in what Jerry in Jerry Rig, everything's test, what he does is he just takes a plus, sorry, the Max, the iPhone Pro 15 Pro Max, takes it, just uses his two thumbs to do that. Where's my phone? I could have shown you guys, but anyway, my phone is not here. Um, did that, and it just just the two thumbs it breaks. So he
mm,
does it. He's been doing that for the past 5 or 6 years now with all iPhones, and none of the iPhones have ever done that and broken like that. So
mm.
it could be like a fault with just one of these copies. You can have faulty ones because it's not there for that to happen.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm,
but there are other people who have tested the iPhone 15 Pro, and it's not looking good. Things tend to break pretty easily for some reason. Not sure why though. People are saying all kinds of reasons, and one particular reason that they're sort of focusing on was Apple recently, before the launch, or at the time of the launch, they reduced the price to replace the back glass from about $500 to about $200, right? And that's like a 60% drop, and
Mm.
maybe the people are sort of trying to accuse Apple to say, okay, they knew something bad was happening, and they didn't want the customers to complain when they needed to replace their black back glass, so
Mm.
they dropped the price. So I don't know.
But 500 to replace the back glass? Is it real? Like 500?
Yeah, that is the original price. Yeah, but
Damn.
for the Pro at least.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
you can buy a new phone, right? What the hell?
Exactly.
I
Like I was
know.
like, oh, I thought maybe like it was some conversion issue, but 500 to replace the back glass.
Yeah,
That's almost half the price of the phone. Almost, isn't it?
almost. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if you buy like that is half the price. So if it's like so it starts at $1,000, right?
Yeah,
Nine
yeah,
ninety
yeah,
nine.
exactly.
So it's like yeah, half the price.
Th-
I mean, just a piece of glass, right? And
Yeah,
apparently
yeah.
it's easier to replace now. According to
Yes.
iFixit and so many other
Yeah.
places. Um. But yeah, it's still not the best thing, right?
Mm,
Um. If it's if yeah, so let's see. So it's just been like the first week of testing, and generally things tend to
mm,
bubble out of proportion. Sometimes when it comes to Apple, right, people get a bit dramatic as well. So let's see
mm,
what happens. Uh, so the thumb thing, just to clarify on that, it was just the Max that was doing it, not the Pro, not
mm,
the smaller Pro 6.1-inch one. So maybe it's just
mm.
something an issue with the Max. I don't know.
Like I
Mm,
also saw a couple of people commenting about it, saying that it might be because like they said that, like you said, increase the possibility to repair certain parts of the phone,
mm, mm,
and thus making the phone a bit weaker by
yep.
because again, like maybe they're just okay, they have a bit of how to say their support towards repairing
Mm,
is on a very very edge, like how do you say, it's on the fence,
yeah, yeah.
it's on two
Self
sides.
repair. Yeah.
Exactly. So maybe I'm just assuming here the phone being weak, they can blame to, yes, we increase repairability and that's why
Uh,
it's a bit weaker. If you want stronger phones, then it has to be more sealed,
oh,
less
wow. Okay.
repairable.
I didn't think of that. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. Oh my God.
that
No, that's
can.
that's 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 exclusive to the day-to-day podcast. You can't. So
Yeah,
you heard it here first.
this
Yeah.
theory is exclusive. Yes, here. Yeah,
I don't know.
because
Actually, I mean, I didn't do like an in-depth research on this, but I
mm,
didn't really hear that opinion from someone else. But could be the case.
mm,
Who knows?
yeah, yeah. Because it's always these kind of shady games with most of these companies. They
Mm,
want to look good,
yeah.
but at the end the problem is on the customers, and like whatever fault the
Hmm.
customer has to bear it at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah. No, no, true,
Either
true.
yeah.
Mm. So
So
they like to make us think that we have a lot of responsibility and they
mm,
can't really do anything because we are not doing our part. And yeah, it's just
exactly.
bullshit sometimes. Yeah.
I was trying to find like the iFixit repair score for
Oh,
the new one, but what I
maybe
remember is
they haven't put it out yet, I guess.
probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
But yeah, I mean, probably they didn't put it out. Maybe it was someone who had just
mm,
looked at this just a
yeah, yeah,
particular area where this is back replacing the black back glass is easier.
mm.
But yeah, let's see. Maybe
Yeah,
it won't.
the only phone that has the phone that has the highest repairability score on their site is right now, it's only the 14 that's there. The 14
Ah,
Plus has the highest score, and the lowest is the 14, and the Pro and Pro Max has something in the middle of that.
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Meanwhile, yeah, I'm just going through like Galaxy, Samsung, they have even less repairability possibilities. The highest, of
Oh,
course,
wow.
is Fairphone with the
So Samsung is lower than. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they'd be
yeah,
a bit higher up at least like a few positions. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. So just reading the pros and cons. So on the Apple iPhone, they're saying the pros are display and battery replacements remain a priority in the design. Most other
Mm,
components are modular and straightforward to access or replace. Cons, unlike in the non-Pro, this is the Pro Max. Unlike
mm.
in the non-Pro models, there's still no good way to replace the rear glass.
Ah,
It's
right.
yeah. So again, like this is a problem that they had complaints in the previous model, and they
Uh,
have tried to address it in the new model, the
uh,
replacing the rear glass.
uh,
But by being able to replace, then there's another problem.
uh,
On yeah, on the Samsung, it says the pros only standard Phillips screws through the phone, but cons, the battery is strongly glued and requires extensive disassembly to service.
mm.
Screen repairs require a lot of disassembly while battling through adhesive.
Yeah, so
So
battery, I think Samsung is not going to take a chance on batteries.
yeah,
Given the 7, was it? Yeah, Note 7. Yeah.
yeah. Note 7. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
quite some time ago. I can't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
it was
Yeah.
quite some time ago.
Like I felt that happened during around the same time where the Ben Gate happened. I feel that it's around the same
But
time.
no, but
No?
it's not, dude. No, no.
No?
Ben
No?
Gate was much earlier, right? So Note 7 was, oh, Note 7. When was that Note 7? Okay, let me see. Note 7. Yeah, to realize I'm Note 7, the first suggestion is Note 7 explosion. Okay. 2017, right? So,
On 17.
iPhone 6 came, bending, yeah, Bendgate. That was
iPhone
like
6
3 years
was,
earlier,
yeah,
2014.
iPhone
Yeah, I
6.
mean,
14.
3 years is relatively, you can say it's on the same time, but yeah, the
No,
3 years, or it's 3 years.
yeah,
So if
3 years. Not at the
COVID was
same time,
three
but
years ago, so that seemed
yeah,
like a long time ago, right? Maybe
yeah.
it's just because it's COVID. But yeah,
COVID feels
let's see.
like yesterday technically, but it sometimes feels like, oh, it happened quite recently, but it was 3 years ago. Like,
Mm,
but
yeah,
also on the other hand, yeah. Ah, okay. I think that's the update about the
yeah.
phone. Well,
Let's see what
we'll see
happens.
what, yeah, we'll see what happens, and maybe Apple will come up with an answer. Maybe it's just a one-off thing. We'll have to wait and see. It got
Mm,
released just a week ago, so we have to wait and see how the responses are from other YouTubers slash reviewers
yeah.
for these kind of
Yeah,
activities.
so I think a lot of people, even Marquez hasn't released his review per se. He just did like a
Mm,
preview and just to go through the specs and all that. Maybe
mm,
some of the reviews when they come out properly after about 2 weeks of use, we'll get to see it. But Marcus did say one thing: if you're getting the Pro, don't get the colored ones. Get the natural
yeah,
titanium because
it's
it's chips and it's gonna look
yeah,
very
yeah.
ugly when
Oh,
you
okay, okay. Yeah, yeah.
have
I think I
yeah.
went through the video. I was actually doing something else by listening to his video, but I remember him
Yeah,
saying that because
yeah,
the natural titanium color is quite
mm,
different from what the colored version. So if
yeah,
it gets
colored
chipped,
versions,
it's gonna
and exactly, yeah. So it's so when you chip the natural one, it's just gonna look the same. So you're not gonna
yeah,
notice
yeah.
anything. Yeah. So hmm, let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we wanted to talk a bit about the Microsoft event. There's been a few things released. Maybe we can go through one by one. There's a lot about AI, isn't it, Andike?
Yeah,
What's
it's just it was. I mean, it is so generally on in this. So this is a Surface event generally, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm,
So they have like a Surface thing where they just put out the hardware.
mm,
They have the Surface Studio, the Surface Book,
mm,
and the Surface Laptop. Yeah, a few things. Um, but I think across all the Surface devices, it's just been like a minor tech bump. Not
mm,
some devices weren't even using the latest processors. They were using like 2 generations back, which is weird. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I think Microsoft focus has shifted from hardware, and Surface isn't given the priority it used to get.
mm,
And I think they did some changes,
mm,
organizational changes behind that as well. So sort of bringing in
mm.
someone from with a more AI background to
Yeah.
handle those products. But yeah, let's see. Um, but the major thing is now Windows 11 and its associated
Mm,
services all
yeah.
have what's called Copilot built in.
What is Copilot? What is this Copilot now?
Copilot. So Copilot is generally so they had, you remember, they
Cortana.
had
Cortana.
Cortana, right?
Yes.
So
That was
it's
that was the first, right? That was the
yeah,
first kind of yeah.
but
All the
Cortana
smart.
couldn't really do
Mm,
stuff within say Excel or PowerPoint or
yeah.
Power BI or whatever, right? Whatever you were working on. But Copilot is now specific for certain software. you can, I mean, you get, I think you get Copilot on Windows 11 itself,
Mm,
but there's Copilot specific for certain softwares, and I don't know how
mm,
they'll package it though. I'm not quite sure about that. But it's essentially you have
oh,
Copilot for Excel, and it's just
mm.
within Excel you can um
Ask it to do things
do
like,
things, right?
yeah,
Say,
yeah.
okay, do I have values on this. So in this
Mm,
column, I need to add whatever thing to it. Can
yeah,
you write me a formula? And it'll
yeah,
generate the formula, things like
yeah.
that, right?
Mm. I
Uh,
was actually reading this like sort of summary of the event, and it's saying what Copilot can do. Like just
mm,
example, it's saying you can copy and paste text into a long email, and Copilot will neatly organize all the information in an accessible, like easily digestible way. So it will format your emails for you.
mm, mm.
And what else? You can snip an image, and Copilot will automatically recognize the action and ask if you want to analyze the photo. Once it has to give you the options for what you can do on the image after.
Mm.
Finding information on your phone based on text-based context, productivity related tasks, Microsoft 365, as you mentioned,
Yeah,
most
exactly.
a lot
Yeah.
of features on that. And
Mm.
then yeah, parts of Windows 11 activities. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's I mean, it's more. So they are trying to integrate AI into everything, right?
Mm,
Because that's gonna be sort of like a selling point in the future.
mm,
I mean, it kind of makes sense because most of the stuff that you want to do is pretty straightforward. I mean, um, there's a lot of content being generated in. So, for example, I use Power BI a lot in my work, right?
mm,
So, anytime I have an issue, uh, generally 90%, 99% of the time, it's already someone's already had it, right?
mm,
And you can just figure it out by just reading that article, right? I mean, whatever it is, what the issue is, you can just, read through it and okay, this is the fix that I need to do. Um, and ChatGPT has access to all of this, right, in text form, and it's marked, right? For this question, it's already marked, right? So you don't have to do anything there, and there's no like dirt behind this, or
yeah.
there's no like filtering. It's already done, right? So you just put that in, that gives
Mm,
you a lot of content to work with, right?
yeah.
So I feel like that's they're doing. And I think they have similar communities in Word and for
Mm,
C65
yeah.
Excel, especially Excel, right? Because Excel is
Mm,
also requires a few
yeah. Mm,
things to go. I mean, certain they have certain problems unique to Excel, right?
mm.
And
There's
it's
there's
good.
there's something that I wanted to bounce off from this topic, like talking
Mm,
about these sort of generative AI, ChatGPT, I don't know, Copilot in this case, and Google is also doing something called Bard or whatever. Like I haven't
mm,
exactly gone through it, but these things are like essentially making how do you say web search engines obsolete, isn't it? In a way, if it gets
mm.
yeah. So
Um,
or is it not? What do you think? What do you think? I feel like it's getting
uh,
because for people who have like there are some places that you need to search and access, but if you're looking for
mhm,
information,
mhm.
again, the accuracy is the key here. If you just want some information, some structure, you can easily search it on ChatGPT and
It it
then
it depends. I feel like it depends, right? So, um, oh wow, okay. So, I mean, for 90%, I think maybe you're right. For like the majority of the people, they don't really care
mm,
as long as they get an accurate enough answer for their question,
yeah,
right? I mean, they don't want to go through all these links and so on and so forth, right?
mm,
The issue
like
is what's gonna happen is a few things, right? There'll still be people who want to see links and just go through that process because maybe there's some learning in that, right?
mm,
I don't know. There might be people who want to do that. Um, and the other thing is we have this whole thing behind ranking answers on search results
mm,
that people pay for, right? And an industry behind that just vanishes
yeah, yeah, yeah,
if this gets enough traction, right?
yeah. Like I'm
Uh,
just thinking of an example here. For an example, okay, it's not like research things. I'm not talking about education. I'm talking
yeah,
about day to day, day
yeah.
to day life. Do you want to go
Very
to a restaurant? You want to go to like you
exactly.
don't have to
You're
research what's the
you're going into a city and you want to see okay top 10 places. You just type
yeah
okay, hey Bard or whatever, give me the top
yeah
10 places in
yeah
Prague. Enter
yeah
and you get it.
exactly
And I
exactly
mean,
yeah
very few people will look beyond that list,
mm,
right? And that's the thing. So now the problem occurs generally. So if you do it, if you do it on Bing search, you'll get like a suggestion to say, okay, I got this source from this thing, or that.
mm,
You want, you can go in here and just have a look. But then why did it pick that link and not something
mm,
else,
mm.
right? That becomes a question.
Yeah
And will it become a question of money where,
mm,
someone paid you and you bumped it up to this list, right? And that can get dangerous because then it's not being objective, I would say.
mm. I mean,
Just
is it objective right now? That's the question. Like, the links that we get
oh,
on Google
no,
search,
but
on Bing,
yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah, okay, yeah, that is yeah, that's probably
It's
not
it's
like
it's already
yeah, it's
paid
not
links. Like you
yes,
obviously you get like you see on the top the advertised links
mm,
if you
mm,
appear not using an ad blocker. Like you see the advertised links on top, and that's just pay to win there just itself.
mm,
And it's either these companies have to sort of actually show these are the top 10 but these are recommended or these have been advertised. They will probably start using the same concepts
mm,
that Google or like other search engines are using
mm,
in that sense, and hopefully that if that goes that way it's okay, I guess. Then you will
mm,
see, okay, these are the list, and then you see your, of course, on the top advertised some three places outside of that
mm,
which people have paid to show. But if they include
mm,
it in the list without exactly saying it's advertised or it's been paid for, then that
mm.
becomes a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, there's another thing there. Yeah, you're right, Nilank, but there's another thing. There's another angle that we can probably look at this at. Um, let's say, for example, now, why would you write a list about top 10 things to do in Prague? What's the reason behind it, right? You're hoping that someone would see it in their search result and come to your page, and that would generate ad revenue for whoever's writing that article, right?
Yeah.
And that part is suddenly taken out of the equation, right?
Yeah. Mm,
Right. I mean, so the thing is, that's gonna have a detrimental effect. Like, say for example, if AI comes
mm,
in and just replaces everything, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna source all my answers from everyone else, and it just looks at it and gives the answer as yourself,
yeah.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
Bing, right? You don't go
Mm,
into the site that you're sourcing it from, right?
yeah. So there's
So
no incentive for the people
incentive
who
for
are
people to
writing
write
the
new
yeah.
articles,
Mm,
right?
mm,
Right. So then that's okay. Where does how does that fit in? Because it's not generating information, right? It's just looking at something someone else wrote, repackaging it and just showing it to you.
yeah.
So then it will be a different model where maybe websites, if they are accessed by the Bard API or ChatGPT API, you need to pay a certain amount. Or I mean, I don't know how
Mm.
that works. Maybe we can
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think the
model
whole
that.
business model around articles, pages, thing like a lot of these pages just use ad revenue on their website. Like
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest. Like even things like these tech websites, whatever, most of it, apart from company website, like
Mm-hmm.
that's their own domain. Like most of the yeah, it's the same business model. So they will have to adapt, like you say, like they will have to figure out a different model to live or else it's all gonna crash at the end,
Yeah.
both sides.
So it's gonna be like what's happening with streaming services, right?
Yeah,
In a
yeah.
weird way, right? So what streaming services they're using all
God.
the content without paying for them, right? And now the writers on strike, there's no new content being produced,
Mm.
and then nothing for them to show. I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's weird, right? But I feel like that's a good analogy.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, there's always two sides, like in that as well. Like there's like again, like we talking about how to say legitimate video sites like Netflix, Amazon, and I don't know,
yeah, let's not talk about the
YouTube.
illustrated
But
ones.
there, but there's
Let's forget
also
about that.
there's a whole other side which
Yeah.
is there as well.
Yeah.
uh,
We that
but it,
we've heard about. We don't know. We don't know
we
that
don't
it
know.
exists.
We
We've
don't
heard
know.
about. Yeah.
No, yeah,
Mm.
we have no idea.
We have no idea where what they are, where
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah, but I agree. But I agree. It's the same kind of there's it's like there's they are interconnected in some sort of way.
Mm.
But then one part of the system breaks down or changes, then it everything else gets affected like in the
Yeah.
rest of the way. So
Mm.
you might
Pipeline,
see,
right?
yeah,
The
yeah.
whole
But we have
integration.
to wait and see how it goes like in the next couple of
Yeah.
years. A lot of people are using ChatGPT or just generative
Mm.
AI in general, and then most big companies are jumping on the bandwagon like to have their
Yeah.
own generative AI to compete with that. I don't
Which is a
know.
bit stupid. I
Yeah,
think. Yeah, don't you can't.
yeah,
It's not gonna. It's just stupid investors. Like they're like, okay,
yeah.
AI, yeah, do it,
Be-
throw money at
because
it.
now
I just.
because now that one name, it's like how Google came up. It's like Google is kind of the default for search engines, even
Mm.
though
Mm.
it has its own drawbacks, negative
Mm.
sides now. But they
Mm.
pioneered it, kind of did a lot of good work to build the
Yeah.
search engine, and they are it's like that it's the go-to search engine for a lot of people.
Mm.
You people
Mm.
use Google it. It's a
Mm.
I Google
It's
this.
like a
It states
word in the
it's a verb
dictionary.
now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I feel ChatGPT is the equivalent of that in terms of generative AI sort of models right
Mm.
now,
Yeah.
even though other people are jumping in, unless they give something extremely different, which I believe they're trying to do. Like Microsoft is trying to do
Yeah.
something like that. Their OS, they are trying to sort of reshape it around to be more easier to use, more, I don't know, for the user to do less work to get
Mm.
things done.
Mm.
But I think you'll need to have your, how do you say, unique selling proposition, unique value proposition to place yourself, or else like if they just replicate what ChatGPT is doing, I don't think they can gain that the same level of awareness.
No. No.
But
Definitely
yeah,
not.
yeah. But I'm very excited to see where it goes. I'm not a very big user of ChatGPT yet. I use it once here and there. I use it here and there, like to just do some
I
work.
I do use it quite a lot actually.
Yeah. I have the
Because
app on my phone right now. Actually, like I
uh
just it's easier. It's just
so
easier
I was
to.
actually I use it quite often. I wanted to actually upgrade to to the paid service. To
Uh-huh.
be frank. Yeah. I mean,
What's the difference?
it's much more powerful. The results are much better.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Is it the
So
updated model?
so
Or
it's
like
that GPT-4, not so the what you have in like what you can just just sign up and use is 3.5.
yeah, yeah.
But that's 3 point between 3.5 and 4, there's a massive difference.
Hmm.
The answers are much better and
Hmm.
it's more coherent and all of that.
I haven't seen it myself. So.
So yeah, let's see. So I mean, I still get by with 3.5. I've gotten to use 4 and just experience it a bit, but I'm not a massive mom of craze, but it was still impressive at the time. Let's see,
Hmm.
because I use it a lot for coding because I'm just doing this project at work these days, and it requires sort of converting from one language to another, and it I just type it in ChatGPT and it just helps me to sort of figure it out, right?
Mm-mm.
And I mean, so the thing is, how I use it is I just get a reference so that to see
Mm.
how they do it. And I'm like, okay, that's probably how I can
Mm.
approach my code as well because I can't really enter the whole code because it's too complex sometimes. So
Mm.
yeah, but yeah, it's I use it like that. So it's not too bad.
Yeah,
It's quite
yeah.
useful.
I, in my case, I use it mostly for just content, as in like when I'm
Mm,
making some detailed report or something, I just try to get a
mhm,
structure through that. I just give me a structure, give me the set of slides, and then
yeah.
for an example, I'm doing like a new project. Give me like a sample timeline for this kind of project. So this gives me a
Mm,
sample timeline, and then I
mm.
based on that I build my own timeline upon that. So it is good to get, like you said, a reference most of the time.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of examples. And then like something that I recently did was I wanted to sort of have a script made to ask, let's say, a set of I wanted to do some set of videos, and I wanted a
Uh-huh.
set of questions to ask from these people. And I said,
Okay.
okay, give me a set of questions that I usually ask in these type of interviews. And then it gave me 10
Mm,
questions, and it felt too formal. And I said, "Can you simplify this?" And then it made
mm,
it
mm,
simplify the questions so it's more personal, relatable. So
mm.
these kind of things, I feel it's quite useful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's I mean for your use case is perfect.
Mm.
And I think you might even it might benefit you from even getting the 4 because you'll have to do less work.
Yeah.
Trust me. Yeah.
Like for me, it's just it's still not, how do you say, I wish it would make like for an example, like when it comes to like slides, presentation slides like PowerPoint or like something like that.
Uh,
It gives you the slide content, but not the
that's
slides itself.
that's a good part. It creates code. Yeah.
Mm,
It writes code. So that's why I
yeah.
use it. So
Mm,
why I
mm,
use it because when I say so what I generally do is okay, I put in a code. I say okay, just tell me what this does because it's not a language that I'm familiar with sometimes. So I
mm,
just put it okay, it tells me okay, this is what it does. Can you
mm.
convert it into SQL or DAX or whatever? I just put that and it just generates the code for me. And I'm like, okay, I just take it, paste it. Okay, there might be some errors, but yeah, just
Yeah.
fix it around and just run it. It
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. I mean, it's much easier than just writing it on from scratch. So it's just take
Yeah.
it and then
Oh my
find the
God.
errors and
Yes. Yes. It's so
yeah.
much easier, right? It's just because your brain is oh I don't know maybe it's just my brain. It's not it's you can't it struggles to start new things like that
Yeah.
to sort of start from
Mm,
zero very
yeah.
hard. But when you get like a small thing going, it's
A
like okay,
reference. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's just so faster.
Exactly, exactly. Like
Faster.
okay, you actually see like okay, this is how it is. Then I can actually
Exactly.
build my own
Yeah.
thing, and now I get it. But I
Yeah.
understand. Like I've done the same thing. Like I said, different
Mm.
projects. I kind of let's say build me a structure for an IT hackathon, for an example. Like there's a
Mm.
lot of hackathons. I mean, so I get the
Mm.
structure, and then I kind of based on that I make my own thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think we've talked about this
Yeah,
in a previous episode,
yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, just
yeah, yeah.
waiting.
Maybe we can cover the last few points in the from the Microsoft event, like their
Yeah.
laptops. Is there anything significant to mention about the? Because
No,
I
no,
remember when
it's
the
mainly
Surface laptop or the Surface, what is the Surface like? I can't remember what is it
Surface
called.
laptop.
Like
Surface laptop. So they're like it's Surface. Was it the Surface Duo you're talking about? Is a
no,
phone
I'm talking about there's
folding
this.
phone thing.
Maybe it's not included in this event. The bigger the studio. They didn't have
Ah,
any update
yeah.
to that side. Yeah,
No, I mean, they no, I didn't see that. No,
yeah,
no, I didn't see the
no.
studio.
And the
Maybe.
laptop also, it's I think the Surf. What's the laptop that came with like all the high specs, like with a matte or like matte finish or like a how do you say? It's not the metal surface. It's like fabric
Yeah,
surface.
that's a Surface laptop.
Is that a surface
Yeah,
laptop?
it's
Yeah,
called
I
Surface
remember it
laptop.
was like very high end. Like when they brought it up in the first
Yeah,
time, it's like high
yeah.
specs,
High
top
specs,
top.
good
Yeah,
material.
yeah. But you said
But
that they
yeah,
are now moving away from that, right?
well, not um, moving away from it. It's just that they don't give it too much of a focus. It's just been
Mm,
like they refresh the processor, maybe
mm,
few design changes. I mean, nothing
mm,
major, right? So what
mm,
iPhones are doing right now,
mm,
but yeah, something that so it's just they're on like autopilot mode in that level.
mm.
And not really doing anything innovative or I mean, which is fine, right? It's you don't have to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
we don't if because generally I think the Surface laptops are pretty good. You don't
yeah.
need to necessarily re-engineer it every year. It doesn't need to happen, but it's just that it's not a lot of news behind that. So
Mm.
yeah, I'm not gonna go into the
Yeah,
there are
yeah,
small things that change, but for
yeah.
90% of
If
the
it's
people,
if it's
it's
not
not
if
really
it's not
significant, I
broke,
guess.
don't fix it. Like
Exactly.
that's the policy that they're going with. And I know of Apple, it's the same. I think like they have like a solid line of devices right now, and they're just kind of incremental changes to kind of polish everything.
Hmm.
But I think like yeah, the sort of tech industry, like laptop industry, is like is has been a bit stagnant. I feel like there hasn't been anything new changing coming out. I feel
Yeah,
like.
the last significant laptop that I saw was the Asus. Was it Asus? The Duo
Hmm.
thing with the two screens, one on the you got the
Hmm.
normal screen and the
And the
like
screen non-stop, screen on bottom, like the touchpad
yeah like and half
screen.
screen actually. So you have the keyboard and
Okay, okay, okay.
half the bottom part of the laptop is keyboard,
Mm,
the other half is like another smaller screen.
mm,
So when you open it up, it sort of does like so it's like that.
mm.
See? And when you open it, it just does that,
Ah,
and it's
okay.
a small screen.
Continuous.
Yeah,
Okay. Mm.
and you have a keyboard at the end, and
That's
I
a
think it.
gaming laptop, wasn't it? Was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
not it was. Yeah, it was a gaming laptop, and plus it was more aimed at designers. So you have like,
Okay.
for example, if you have the video editing thing, you can have the full screen
The
for video editing
timeline.
and like the timelines and stuff on that.
Nice. Yes, yes,
So
yes.
it's more like a glorified, not a glorified, but a expanded touch bar
Mm.
that you get in
Yes.
Mac.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, it was pretty cool design, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
mm, didn't really
Uh,
catch on, I guess, because
mm.
it was quite expensive.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah,
And only like a niche set of customers would actually buy it.
yeah. Like yeah, because it's a limited use case as well. Like
Mm,
unless yeah, like you said, like if you are a designer, like or some edits on a timeline,
yeah,
or if you want to just multitask. But then again, it's again not a lot of people who needs that
yeah.
specific.
So that's,
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of customers like that tend to go Mac, tend to go
yeah.
Apple, and not Windows for some reason. And even people who do go for Windows, they wouldn't. It'll be smaller, right? So it just
Mm,
gets a very niche market that
yeah,
buys that laptop.
yeah. Because I think like when it comes to Apple, like the MacBooks, they are quite optimized right now for media workflows
Mm,
generally, and their apps are also quite even in the how do you say Air, the MacBook Air is like it works like
yeah,
charm, like most of the heavy applications.
yeah.
It's quite good.
Mm.
Well, I think we are running out of
Time?
time. We
Yeah, we
have
can't really. We don't have time for another topic actually. Yeah.
no, not another topic, but. I think that's good for us to close
Yeah.
with.
Just before we close, Copilot is just one thing. It's not per app. Just wanted to mention that. I
Okay,
think
yeah,
yeah, it's
okay,
just like a
okay,
whole thing across Windows 11. So yeah,
hmm,
just wanted to
yeah,
clarify that. All good.
okay, okay, no worries. And then I think we have a small one. Is next weekend we'll not be releasing an episode, but then we'll catch up. We have like some activities that we have to prioritize that weekend. So we
Yeah.
will be coming back with an episode in the weekend after. But we'll try to keep you updated with some of the short clips during that time period, like on Instagram and then we actually have a Facebook page now.
Ah,
It's
I saw
it's
that.
yeah. It was actually created when the Instagram was made into a business account, but I
Ah,
wasn't using it. But
it is that.
I started scheduling the videos on the Facebook business application, Meta business application, or whatever. So you can actually publish on both at the same time. I thought,
Oh,
why
nice,
not? Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So you can see our clips there as well, and then hope you
Give
get
a
updated
like,
on
follow.
yeah because the
Sounds
Facebook
good.
page is pretty new. If you want to go there and if you like to follow us there, it's more than welcome to. But Instagram and YouTube will still be probably our main channels, and TikTok will be our main channels
Yeah,
to
TikTok.
follow up. Yeah, yeah,
We might do a TikTok
uh,
dance.
yeah.
Who
Sometime
knows?
soon. Yeah.
Sometime maybe. So follow our channel. You might see that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, then thank you for listening to us talk about starting with Apple, then Microsoft, then some generative AI topics.
Mm.
But we'll catch up again soon. So yeah, take care and talk to
Have
you
a good
soon.
one.
Listen to us. Yeah,
Cheers.
have a good one.